Hello and welcome to the Roundabout Podcast. This is episode 32. I am a host, Austin Sudduth, and with me I have Michael Levine, Hunter Brittle, Tyler McClellan. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
I like how you designated a host. I am a host.
He is not the only host. He is just an host.
I would consider Austin to be the host with the most.
I appreciate that.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
The most
Fuck
of
you,
what,
Michael.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, hey, let Brittle Brown knows. I'm sure he's done something wrong that he's going to need to apologize for.
I have done nothing wrong. Austin leads the podcast. He starts it off and he finishes it. So why isn't he the host?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You haven't listened to your audio
because
track
we're
yet.
all hosts.
I don't listen to my audio track. That's
Technically,
the joke.
we are all hosts because we don't have guests.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We host ourselves. The best way to host, if you ask me.
This is a hosted space.
We could have a guest on. Who would you have?
Oh.
I mean, are we talking like anybody in the world?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Ooh.
No, like for this podcast.
Jeff Ramsey.
A good choice.
Valid. You think he would guest host on a podcast that was basically inspired by him?
No chance.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
No chance. But that's, I mean, if you're saying anybody.
Then he'd show up and be like, I already do work. I don't want to do more work here.
Right. Gavin Free. I don't know. I mean, you just list some of the favorite people I would love to chat with. Like, that's basically what this is.
I'm blanking on his name big time, but what's the comedian's name that did the Oscars a couple times and everybody loved or hated him? Absolutely no in between. British guy.
Was that Gervais?
Yeah,
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. Let's just get Ricky Gervais on here. He feels like he'd be a great guy to just hang out with for an hour.
Man, he would either be great or we would all feel tiny when we're...
Oh, we would all feel tiny no matter what, but I think it would still be great. That's the whole point.
Guest comes on and eviscerates the hosts.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what ends up happening with podcasts, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really listen to podcasts that have guests on.
That's true. I don't think I do either, really.
Turns out we wouldn't be any good at having a guest. It sounds like
we would get them in here and be like, hey, so what usually happens when you guest on podcast? Because we don't know what's going on.
Well, I think the problem with like guest podcasts is their like topics that they go for, and then they just cater them to a host, whereas we don't have topics catered to anything but our stupidity. Yeah.
And I think that's one reason you have to kind of respect comedy podcasts that do bring on different guests all the time. It can't be easy to just get on and riff with a random. I say random. These guys probably know each other outside of that, but just get on and riff with random people and it go well. And I'm sure that's why for every one great comedy podcast episode, you could find 20 that were just not funny at all because it just didn't flow well.
Well, it also has to do with professionals tend to have gone through different training. A lot of it probably improv, where it's all just like yes and, right? You start on a topic and you just riff on that topic. Even if you don't believe a word you're saying, right? That's the point of improv and working together with people you don't know and being able to make it funny. None of us have, I mean, I've done some improv classes a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one. Austin maybe has done some, I don't remember, but
no,
I'm going to guess Brittle and Tyler, y'all.
Doing them at one point. I just never got around to it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's totally different when you have professional comedians getting together to riff on a topic versus, four idiots who like to play video games and talk to each other trying to make a podcast. Maybe we should all take improv classes. Maybe it would make us better.
No.
Either that or it'd make some good content for the weekend.
You've suggested that several times, and I have fear. I have fear every time you say it.
Why do you have fear? What's the fear part?
I'm not funny around people I don't know.
No, but that's the point. It's not necessarily, it's improv. Improv is not stand up. Improv is learning how to work with other people.
True. And you're working with us.
Yeah, we would do it together.
Yeah. We'll just do a online group activity improv class.
I'm down.
How does one do an online improv class?
The same way you would do it in person.
The same way we do it every Sunday. We just don't have a good teacher.
Right. What do you think? Do you think we've got to move our arms around to do improv?
Yeah.
There can be physical comedy in improv, but yes, for what we're trying to learn how to do, no, I don't.
I feel like if you have to
Austin
resort
has
to
a point.
physical comedy, your improv's not good enough.
Yeah.
No, it's just different kinds of comedy. It's called sketch comedy. For
Yeah,
a
that's
reason.
sketch comedy, not improv. To me, is just a way of feeding off of each other, not necessarily acting.
Improv is working together to do something without a script. Boy, y'all just stumbled out of that one.
And here we are without a script.
Right.
Yeah, if there was any doubt that this was scripted or not, here's your cue to this isn't. I have notes, and that's about it. That's about as much of a script as I can get.
Right.
And most of the time, it's just a question, and then I always have to remember what inspired that question because I take terrible notes for myself.
I feel like someday we should just post our raw notes, just like no context. Just here's what I had in my note app and see if people can figure out what we're talking about.
No, I delete all mine. So I've only got like 3 things left.
Oh, see, I just I strike through. So they're still there and I can see the things we have talked about in the past. But if it has a strike through in it, I know I've already talked about it.
Yeah, I have little.
Yeah.
But who knows? In
on
maybe
my
50
stuff.
episodes we'll have forgotten and I'll circle back to it.
Yeah, no, I deleted all the ones of mine we've talked about. I delete them.
One of us at least would get it wrong, and their notes would just be like notes from the podcast, as if we had a test on it that afternoon. Like they'd just be
Right.
writing down. Michael said this.
Oh, do you think in like a couple of episodes? Never mind. I got an idea. I'm not going to say it. Anyways,
Okay.
Bertle, who
So-
would you have on as a guest for our podcast?
Austin, not so disguisedly pockets
I'm
that one
adding a
real
note.
quick.
He's
I'm
got
adding a
now.
note in the middle of the podcast.
You just witnessed it.
We are live noting.
I don't know. I guess, like Tyler said, I'd want I feel like comedians are pretty good at just going because, like, we don't have a direction with this podcast or anything. It's literally just us just talking. So I feel like somebody like Shane Gillis could probably contribute to nonsensical rambling without a script. I feel like he'd be pretty good. So that's probably who I'd pick.
I think Shane Gillis would successfully make us all uncomfortable. I feel like his level of comedy might be a little too edgy for us. Maybe podcast us. I don't know about regular weekend us, but
Maybe so.
Not on the record, us.
Not on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
record. This can't be traced back to me.
Tarkov not on Tuesday us. Yeah, well, it is exceptionally snowy outside for usual North Carolina. Did any of you guys get snow?
None.
I got 11 inches,
Wow.
maybe 12.
I think you got more than us. I think we stopped around probably 8, 9, which still I haven't seen that much snow in years here.
Yeah, I mean, they said 11 inches here in Charlotte is like the 4th most the city's ever gotten since they started tracking it.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
In a single day, I should say. Like, it's the most they've ever gotten in a single day. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, it was snowing hard basically all day on Saturday.
Yeah, that's how it was
But it was
here
cool.
too.
What's interesting about it, I love science, right? I'm a very science-oriented person. And one of the local meteorologists I follow was actually explaining some of like why, why we were getting the kind of snow we were getting and all that kind of stuff. And it was interesting. We actually only got about a half inch of moisture, right? Like if this had been straight rain, it would have been about a half inch of rain. But because of the like weather conditions, the ratio of like actual rain to snowfall was nearly 22-1. And I thought that was just crazy that like half an inch of water turned into 11-ish, 12 inches of snow. And it's like that really light, like powdery, fluffy, like it's too fine and not moist enough to like, you can't clump it together into snowballs. You can't build a snowman out of it. Although one of my son's friends, their mom sent us a picture. They built a Jabba the Hutt snowman because they couldn't get it to like clump together in circles. So they just had this giant base and then like a little scarf around it and then the head above that. It was really funny. But yeah, no, it like you can't sled in it. Like the kids had fun, but it was certainly not like build things out of it. Today was a little better because it started to kind of melt a little bit in the sun, so that made it where you could clump it together a little bit better. But yesterday, I mean, it was just this fine powder, like super dry, and you couldn't really play in it very well. Not that the kids didn't give it a go, but
it was the same way here. And that, like you said, it snowed all day Saturday. That was the craziest part. So when we woke up, there were probably a good 2-3 inches already on the ground, at least, if not more, from overnight. and it snowed steady all day Saturday. But that was the craziest part, was watching it. The snowflakes were huge.
They were massive.
Yeah, much bigger than I think I've ever seen, at least that I can recall. But no, you're spot on. It was just walking in it. It was so soft. It was bizarre feeling it, because there was like no ice to it whatsoever. It was pure fluffy snow, like just full blown powdery snow. So I didn't try to make a snowball or anything, but I did walk out in the yard a couple times and ran my hands through it and everything. But it was bizarre seeing our entire backyard, especially because, with all the trees back there, seeing all of those, because usually we get snow and they'll have a little bit on it. There'll be an inch or two on the ground when we see it, but it was really cool. I do wish we would have gone out and played in it a little bit more. But again, our idea of playing in the snow is either making snowballs, or we usually, when it snows, Grace and I try to build a snowman, and that probably would not have worked very well this year. But it was still awesome to wake up in it.
Believe it or not, it snowed down here in Florida.
Really?
I was at work on Saturday, and at about 5:30 or so, we go out to start all the units up that we have out front and move them around back behind the shop just for security sake. And as we're starting those up and we're walking around out there, snow starts coming down in central Florida. I'm like, I never expected this. It's exactly the reason I moved down here, was to get away from the snow, and it still friggin' followed me here. But it snowed in Florida.
Did any stick on the ground there, or was it just
no,
snowfall?
Absolutely not. No, it was just flurries. It was, it was enough that you could see that it was snow, but nothing was ever going to stick. There was no accumulation whatsoever. But it was cool to see. I can now say that I have seen snow in one of the most northern states and one of the most southern states.
Snates.
Small grammatical error.
I do feel like the snowstorm here in Charlotte has set our plan of getting brittle up here back by about 5 years.
Yes. I don't want to be where there's snow. I'm done. I'm tired of it, man. I had my fill. I've done my time. 12 years of it. In Azkaban.
Really and truly, in North Carolina, you'll get about one good snow, maybe two a year, and that's if that. And generally speaking,
not in Charlotte.
Do y'all get more than that, are you saying?
No, we get way less.
I was about to say, maybe one good snow a year, if that.
Yeah, this is our first good snow since 21.
That's that's what I was thinking was the last time. Last year it snowed and maybe an inch or two stuck on the ground.
And then it was like 2018 before that. So it's like every, 5-ish years or so.
Well, and I know y'all recorded an episode last week, but I didn't record an episode, or I wasn't in that one last weekend because of the ice storm that came through. Knocked out my internet.
I'm going to guess you haven't listened to it either.
No, I have not. I have not listened to it. If you remember my update from a couple weeks ago, the AI, I thought it was bad then, getting everything situated with that. It has just gotten so much worse. Just in terms of busyness, it's going great. But either way, we don't need a full-blown update on the AI. But the ice storm that came through knocked out my internet, and that was pretty rough here, just in terms of the aftermath of how long the roads were virtually undrivable. Even if we would have wanted to, I think the ice, the freezing rains, a little bit of snow, whatever it was, started coming down on Friday. We couldn't pull out of our driveway until Wednesday, and that was Wednesday afternoon after it had sit in the sun all day when it was finally above freezing. So, I mean, it was a good 5 days of ice on our driveway and our road, granted a back road that the scrapers and the salters aren't going to come down. But yeah, it hit pretty hard here. There was a ton of ice on the road.
Yeah, we got about a half inch of ice here. It didn't knock out power, but it's the same thing. I don't think we left the house until it was either Tuesday night or Wednesday. Yeah, that was way worse.
Austin, did you get any ice or snow?
Nothing. I mean, it got down to 22 degrees, but there was zero moisture in the air, so it was just cold. No ice, no snow. I mean, clear, bright days, both Saturday and today, but just cold. That's it.
Well, you missed out, man. You missed out on all the fun. Even I got in on it.
No, we got ours last weekend when the world got covered in snow.
The world.
Yeah, I should say the ice I was talking about was last weekend. This weekend was just snow, which is so much better. I'd take 2 feet of snow over a half inch of ice every day.
100%. I think they said we got about a solid inch of ice the last time around. But like this snow, we could, if we wanted to bad enough, we could have probably driven today just fine on the roads. Tomorrow morning might be a little rough once some of this slush gets mushed down and then freezes overnight. But yeah, I'm not planning on going anywhere either way.
Yeah, we missed out on it here. But we still do have, that's the crazy thing is like, even though there was 2 days that got like into the 50s, there's still ice in locations from last weekend. Like on the backside of my carport where sun barely touches and it's just been shade this whole time, there's still like ice patches. And so that just kind of got reinforced over this weekend. But other than that, I mean, nothing this weekend at all.
Do you guys have any crazy snow day stories from growing up or anything? Maybe the Texas boys might not, but Tyler, anything from
Do y'all as in one person?
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
man.
Well, I don't necessarily have anything crazy. One that comes to mind, and I don't remember what year this was. Honestly, even trying to guess, probably maybe 2010, a little bit earlier than that. Maybe it's been a little while ago, but we got a lot of snow on Christmas Day. So obviously, my little brother and myself were pretty excited because we always like going out and playing in the snow, and we lived right across the street from a middle school, and so they had moved all the buses out to wherever they keep buses when they expect bad weather, and it was during the winter, so maybe they were just working on them, whatever, I don't know. So there were these big open parking lots. There was a huge hill on the other side of the middle school, so we always, anytime it snowed when we lived there, we would make the most out of it over there. And either way, well, it snows on Christmas Day. We wake up, and if I remember, I mean, in my mind, it's probably way more than it was, but at least a foot of snow. Like, it was a ton of snow. But the funny thing was, my brother and I both got bikes for Christmas. We got like BMX bikes. Well, us being, I'm probably early middle school age, he's elementary school age, we were not going to be patient and wait to ride those bikes. So we had the great idea, we're going to take our BMX bikes across the street into this foot of snow, and we tried our best to ride our BMX bikes all over the place in a ton of snow. Eventually, we realized that was not the brightest idea, and ended up just switching them out for a sled. I think we found some random stuff, and like we're sliding down the hill back on the backside of the middle school, but not necessarily a crazy story, maybe more a stupid one, but at the same time a fond one, just because I just remember there being a ton of snow. It was Christmas Day, everybody's already happy, so we made the most of it. And now that I'm older, love spending time with family on Christmas and going to everybody's houses and seeing everybody. But back then, I was probably just happy that we got to stay at home all day for once for Christmas. So had its positives.
Yeah, hang on a second. I have a story, but I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Preemptive blessings to you, sir.
No, we're trying to jinx it.
Yep. Mayonnaise.
Not gonna
Look at the
sneeze
light. Look at the light. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Yeah,
mayonnaise.
because now it's not coming. Do you also? This is total sidetrack. I'll get to my story in a minute. When you say look at the light, do y'all sit in a lit room to do this? Because like it's mostly dark when I record.
Yeah,
I have my light on.
I
in here.
have my area the way I do streaming. So overhead light with a light in the corner.
I don't have an overhead light in my living area. I've got a light over my kitchen area, which is on the other side of the room. So I don't really have, I'd have to look across the room for a light.
No, I have one LED strip on and two of the little like chair lights on, and that's all I have up here.
It's weird though, generally speaking, when we're streaming a video game or just playing video games, the light's off. But for some reason with podcasts, I always have it on. I don't know why. Maybe I feel like it wakes me up a little bit more.
It's higher brain function.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't really have any like snow day stories of like, it snowed on us and I got to stay out of school or whatever. I don't have anything crazy like that. But we used to go to New Mexico for like Christmas and spring break and stuff. My grandparents had a place up there, so we go up there and ski, snowboard, that kind of stuff. I mostly enjoyed it. There was one time my dad and I went up on the mountain, and he was skiing, I was snowboarding. I think if I remember right, the ambient temperature was like 6 degrees and the wind chill was -11. And we just, for some reason, thought, it'll be fine. And we buy the day pass. We got to like about lunch and looked at each other and we're like, are you having fun? Because I'm not having fun. And it was the most cold I have ever been in my life. And it was miserable. Like normally I didn't mind the cold. I don't mind the snow. I'm one of those people, I'd rather be cold than hot. because you can always put on more clothes. You can't take off more skin when it's hot. This was not one of those cases. There was nothing that was going to make me warmer in -11 wind chill. And so, yeah, we gave up about lunch. We only made like 3 or 4 runs, and they were like, you know what? I'm not having fun anymore. That's probably my craziest. I mean, like, I've seen plenty of snow. We had Christmas where we were up there, and gosh, we got probably 2 feet of snow over the course of a couple days. And our house was up on a mountain, so we had this really steep driveway, and it was great because like we would stock up on all the food we needed anyway. It was a small town, so it wasn't like you were going out to eat every meal. So we would cook at home all the time anyway. Plenty of beer and stuff. If the power went out, we just went and stuck the beer in the snow. It stayed plenty cold, and we would make this like sled run down our driveway out into the road, because nobody was going to be driving. And as long as you stopped before you got to the other side of the road, you were good. If you didn't stop by then, you'd kind of go off a drop and keep going down the mountain. So we would like build up a little barrier over there so you weren't accidentally like shooting yourself off the mountain. But I've had plenty of fun in the snow. But I think probably snowboarding in -11 is probably the craziest I've had.
I really like how the intent was to stop before you got to the cliff on the other side of the road, and not the road where somebody. I know you said they're not going to be driving, but still, like that's mind-boggling to me, truly.
Yeah, I mean, we would have somebody down at the bottom of the hill looking anyway, but yeah, nobody was usually driving on that road. It was a quiet area.
They do a cursory glance across the street just to make sure no one's driving.
All
Yeah.
clear, as if you were even going to be able to stop in the first place.
Well, we would, if somebody was coming, because it happened occasionally, you just wouldn't start your run.
I've always wondered, when you say -11, I've always wondered where that crossover is, right? Like living in North Carolina most all of my life, and the only time I wasn't here, I was in South Carolina where it's even warmer. I think I've only experienced negative temperatures in general, like once in my life, and it was like -2 or 3, right? But I've always wondered, when you hear those crazy temperatures, when it's like -30, -40, at what point does it not feel colder anymore? Like you know what I mean? At what point is it so cold that even if it dropped another 10 degrees, you probably wouldn't notice it? Now, sure, there's going to be medical concerns at some point, but yeah, it just intrigues me. Like if -11, if you were out there in -20, would it have made a big difference?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's a good question, because in my mind, at the point that you don't feel it, that's called hypothermia and frostbite. And so it doesn't matter how cold you get, you're dead. But I don't know. Like, that is a good question. Is there a point as it gets colder and colder before you have, those medical concerns, that you just can't feel how much colder it is? Because like, I don't know. I was trying to think. Like, I've been out in the heat, in a lot of heat between Arizona and Vegas. And like, you can tell it's still getting hotter. Like 115 doesn't feel like 100, that is a great question. Like, going the other way. First guest, we need an Antarctic explorer on the podcast.
There we
Not
go.
somebody who's been stationed in North Dakota.
Well, I mean,
Well-
what's the coldest you've experienced that you can remember?
As the resident cold expert, I feel, in my experience, you stop noticing a difference at about -10 or 15. Honestly, it's just a matter of how long you can stand it, really, and that's a person by person basis.
Well, 2 things here. One is a question, and the other a point. So, for one, what's the coldest you've experienced that you can remember? But 2, you say between -10 and 15. That's a 5-degree difference, right? I feel like that's kind of the point of the conversation, is where at in there. And I know that's asking a specific, but
I mean, yeah, that's the range. I couldn't give you I guess -10 then, like, because I couldn't tell you the difference off the top of my head with the difference in feel between -10 and -15. At least for me, anyway. I have a picture in my phone. It's one of the earliest pictures that I have of the weather, of a screenshot of the weather when I got to North Dakota. -51 was the real feel.
holy crap.
Ooh.
That's the coldest
That's
I've ever felt.
brutal. Now, could you tell a difference from that versus the -10?
Not really. Like I said, it just gets to you quicker. And like you know it because it's a mental thing because you're always checking the weather out there because wow, it's really freaking cold. I wonder how cold it is. So like you're aware. So I feel like knowing how cold it is makes it a little bit worse. But in terms of feel, man, it's just cold.
Well, and I think that's like hard to even fathom from somebody who's only ever experienced like a 0 to -2 once ever, and I probably didn't even go outside intentionally, right? We get single digits
You went out
occasionally.
accidentally. You didn't know you were going, and you just found yourself outside.
No, I just mean
I hate it when I
like,
just wake up outside.
Unless I walked
Right.
outside just for the sake of seeing how cold it is, I wouldn't have stayed out there long enough to figure it out. But that's so hard to fathom. And it's funny that you mentioned the 50s because not too terribly long ago, I saw videos on Twitter or something, or X, excuse me.
No, you can still call it Twitter. It's fine.
Yeah, no, everybody calls it Twitter. But it was somewhere in Russia, and these guys were doing like a polar plunge or something in -53 degrees. And so, but the whole thing is they're sitting in the water, and they don't even seem that bad. But it's a guy that is a content creator of some sort, is doing it with these Russian guys or whoever they are, and he's obviously freezing. But then he gets out, and they're like putting shoes down on the ground for him to step onto. Well, when he gets out, he steps beside the shoe, and after about like a second, reacts and like pulls his foot up, and then after he gets inside. He shows the bottom of his foot, and it's like blood red. I guess the ice was so cold from that temperature that his foot being on the ground for like a second and a half burnt it. I suppose it's like a burning sensation, even though it's so cold it froze it. But yeah, it was just bizarre to see like how quickly he reacted. It was like he touched a hot pot instead of putting his foot on ice, but it was like instantaneous. Then you could tell in his face how bad it hurt. So it's like I said, that's just hard to fathom for somebody who's never experienced anything close to that.
We had a keypad. So when I got to Minot, we were in like an older squadron building. It was pretty rundown and pretty crappy. And then they built a new one shortly after me getting there, which was all nice and brand new and very well heated. It was a lot better than the old one. But while we were at the old one, excuse me, there was to get onto the flight line and to the building itself, you had a keypad entry. Like you had to punch in, like you had to scan your badge and punch in a code to get through this metal turnstile. And I had only been there for a handful of weeks. And one time I took my glove off because I was wearing such big gloves that I couldn't punch the keypad properly to like get because there's no screen on there to know if you put in the number, if the keypad took the number correctly. So you're just guessing. So I took my glove off to make sure that I was hitting the buttons right, and I freezer burnt my fingertip on this. It was a plastic, like a rubber keypad, and it still burnt my finger from touching it. That's how cold it was.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, also, I think it begs the question now for you. What's the coldest weather you've ever experienced?
None that I can remember. I mean, we would go skiing when I was younger, but we probably stopped roughly around like age 10 or 11. My family stopped going skiing regularly, so I know there was probably some days back then that were pretty cold. I just don't remember.
Well, we appreciate the honesty despite the boring answer.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I did date this girl once who went to school in Colorado, and we did go skiing one day. And I know it was negative temps, but I mean, I've been in negative temps before, but no crazy story. That's the thing, is there's no crazy story that comes with it. It's just that I know I felt it. And I mean, the last time it was negative temps for me was 15 years ago. So it's just been so long since I've had a negative temp experience, and nothing stands out.
Yeah. Well, so I'm curious for all of you, and I know we all kind of brittle. I think I'll know the obvious answer with you, but I mean, what are you taking? Are you taking 0 degrees or 110?
I'm going to abstain because everybody knows my answer.
Michael, I feel like, is going to be the best judge here since he's experienced a little bit of everything.
I mean, 0 or 100.
Whatever the equivalent, we could say 32 or 100, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say I would rather be cold than hot. Like I am of the opinion I can always put on more clothes. Obviously, there comes a certain point where you can't, but that's the same with heat. I would rather be cold than hot. And maybe that comes from doing 2-a-days in Texas for years playing sports. I don't know. But yeah, I would rather be cold than hot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in that camp as well. Even though I will say, Michael, we both live in North Carolina. We both get the luxury of experiencing all 4 seasons every year, and it's great because we
Yeah.
will. We will have 100-degree summers, and we will have below freezing winters. Now, not -10, but below freezing pretty often.
No, I do think we're supposed to get down to like 1 or 2 degrees tonight.
Really?
Like it's going to be tonight the low.
I think
for
it's
tonight
colder
is
for you
very
then
cold.
because, well, we're supposed to get down to 10, but still not quite that low. But yeah, it's supposed to get down to 10 degrees tonight. I think it was 7 degrees last weekend during the ice storm at one point. That's the coldest I've seen it so far this year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I got deployed at the end of my enlistment to Guam, quote, deployment, it was a working vacation. It was amazing. But I got sent back early because I was getting ready to separate. So I got sent back ahead of the main deployment back to Minot. And when I left Guam, it was 80 degrees. When I got back to North Dakota, it was -20. I literally had 100-degree temperature change.
I feel like that should qualify you for VA disability.
Me too. However, it doesn't. The best
Dismay.
The best part about this is that so this is undiagnosed, but I am like 90% sure that I have a condition called Raynaud's. I don't know if it's a disease, but it's a blood condition where your fingers, like and the blood in your extremities, my fingers turn white way quicker than most people's. And if you have this condition, there's apparently the only way to test if you have this condition is just to go to a doctor and he puts your hand in a bucket of water and he pulls it out. And if it's white, it's like, yep, you got Raynaud's. Never went and did that. But apparently if you have that condition, you can't get stationed in Minot, North Dakota. I definitely have this because my hands get noticeably whiter faster than everyone else, at least in my squadron.
Sounds like you should have gone to the doctor.
Well, I grew up in a household that the mentality was if you still got all your blood or a limb's not hanging off, you ain't going to no doctor. So I just got to put up with it for the sake of mental conditioning.
Yeah, deal with it.
Right? Deal with it, son. Rub some dirt on it. This feels like a great time to pivot to This Week in Florida Man.
Give us another Florida man.
Love a Florida man story.
I don't think I've got one. You guys can be the judge. Me personally, I like last week's headline better, but this one's pretty interesting. Osceola County, an Oviedo man was arrested this week after he was caught engaging in a sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner. Deputies said they responded to
what?
Deputies said they responded to Grassendale Street in Kissimmee on January 22nd after receiving reports of a man exposing his sexual organs in front of a resident. The victims observed this behavior, provided a statement and a cell phone recording of a male partially clothed in front of a residence engaging in a sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner.
So there was a Scream spoof movie. I think it was one of the Scary movies, if y'all remember those, where that was an ongoing joke in it. Can't remember the guy's name. He was like a cop. It was like Doofy or something like it. It was some generic name, but yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind with that. That's unfortunate though, that guy's name will forever be linked to his explicit household cleaning supply activities.
I am curious.
No.
I wouldn't get too curious.
Was it his house? You calm down. You shut up. Was it his house he was at? Or was he going to another house, plugging the vacuum into like a front porch outlet and doing this?
Maybe he had a battery-powered one.
He might have had a battery-powered one.
Dude, you don't get it. It doesn't work if I don't have an audience.
That's what I'm curious.
I mean, it might be a better story if he does have to plug it into their outlet, though. Like, hang on.
No, it's great.
Hang on. I need to use your electricity for a
They
moment.
see him plugging something in on the blink before they get the shock of their lives.
I gotta figure out like what's the mentality if it's not his house? Like, is it like why go to another house to do this?
I don't know. I have no idea. And the best part is, like, the article doesn't specify whether or not he was like in his own mind, or like under the influence of drugs or anything like that. It's just, it doesn't say. So the assumption is that he was operating at 100% brain capacity. Just
He was under
Is
the
that the
influence
assumption?
of being a Florida resident, is what he was
Right.
under the influence
At
of.
this point, I feel like meth is just in the air in parts of Florida, and so that's where all these headlines come from.
Well, I used to live outside of Kissimmee. It's not a real, in my opinion, it's not a bad area. I wouldn't expect this kind of behavior in Kissimmee, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I've stayed in Kissimmee a few times. It's not a bad area, just generally speaking, being there short term. But every time a Florida man thing gets brought up, I make a lot of starting a sentence noises and then just stop because I'm just trying to process. I'm curious if he rang the doorbell. Like if he waited on him to come to the door.
Is it people he knew,
There's so many questions.
or are these complete strangers?
I have to assume complete strangers.
I wouldn't assume anything at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah,
well,
this
Brittle,
week in Florida.
you live in an excellent state for content.
God bless you,
That's
Florida
all I
man.
can say.
An excellent state for content.
What are we gonna do if you ever move?
See, I can't leave.
I mean, the headlines will still be there.
Start recording stuff in person, hopefully.
Yeah, it would be nice, be able to do some of this stuff in person. But you stay down there in Florida. You do you.
Where it is, quote, warm.
I mean, warmer.
Warmer, absolutely. It's a nice balmy 36 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, that's warmer than it is even in Texas.
It's not warm
I
enough.
got a good
I'm
21
unhappy.
at the moment.
I'm unhappy with the state of
This
Florida's
is not
weather
what
right
I
now.
came here for.
Yeah, this is literally not what I signed up for.
And you want to move to Australia?
Yes and no. Apparently it's pretty cool, but like everything there just wants to kill you.
That is a valid point.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why you go to New
like
Zealand
Florida
instead.
plus.
It is. It's
Yeah, which-
Florida plus.
It is a pretty good description of Florida, yeah.
Australia,
the-
man.
The Florida man behavior is just like standard weekend behavior in Australia too.
Bog standard out there in the outback.
They're pretty wild out there too, from what I understand.
Yeah, they have gators with chainsaws for arms out there
and drop bears.
and drop bears.
All right. Well, I've got a question.
Hey, I got an answer.
Ask away. Let's hope they match.
I've been thinking about this because we when the cold weather was coming through, we stocked up on a lot of food we can make at home, especially things that potentially could be made over a fire if we lost electricity. So my wife sends me to the store the other day to get some things, and she wants to get hot dogs. And we have a problem in our house. I wouldn't call it a problem.
Well, y'all have lots of problems in your house.
Oh, we do. We have lots of problems. But I prefer brats to hot dogs. My wife prefers hot dogs. What about you guys? Hot dogs? Brats? Does it make a difference? Like, what is your preferred wiener?
Brats.
I don't like how
Lock
you
it in.
asked that.
Lock it in. Bratwurst all day.
As someone who's not a big hot dog fan in general, I would take a burger over a hot dog any day of the week.
That was not the question.
But I'm
That was not the question.
I know, but I'm just giving you a context for the fact that my answer really doesn't make a difference here. But I'm gonna go with a regular hot dog, I think.
I mean, if I had a preference, we're going brats. I'm not going to be upset with just a hot dog.
Oh, I'd never complain. Absolutely. Especially if it's being given to me.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to complain. But now, do you like anything in them? Like, I'm a fan of the cheddar brat myself.
Oh, those are good. Where it's like worked into it.
Yeah.
Yes. Like that. Absolutely.
Austin, preferences?
I just plain. Give me plain. Like, I don't want something else in it. Like, I'll top it. Like, just give me a plain wiener, and I will put cheese. I would put chili on it. Like, at home, I'm not gonna do a chili cheese dog. Like, I'll go out for that. I don't want to put. If I'm doing a hot dog at home, it's quick, it's simple. So I'll throw some cheese and ketchup. Like, that's it. I gotta have something on it. I can't do it plain. But if I'm out and I'm getting a hot dog somewhere, chili cheese dog is my go-to.
Load that sucker up.
I mean, I'll do it sometimes with the youngin, sometimes with like something else on it, but chili cheese dog is my preferred hot dog.
So I guess that's question number 2 around this, and you've answered it some, Austin. But what are your preferred toppings?
On a brat, give me some sauerkraut and some brown mustard.
Oh, okay.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Cannot be beat.
If we're just talking a standard hot dog, mayonnaise, ketchup, chili, and some relish if it's around. Can't beat
Mayonnaise?
that. Love mayonnaise on a hot dog. Mayonnaise and ketchup is the
Ugh.
greatest mixture of all time.
I mean, like, I don't disagree on a burger.
That is a
but
fry
I
sauce
can't
is top tier.
Oh, 100%. But would you do that as a hot dog topping?
Yeah, now granted, I don't know about a brat. I don't know if it makes a big difference, but on a regular hot dog, mayonnaise, ketchup, chili, and relish. Keep it simple.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't like relish, but I will occasionally at home cut up, like dice up pickle. I don't like relish. I don't like whatever
Too sweet?
too sweet. Like I don't like.
Yeah,
sweet
I can see
relish.
that.
You know, you
I
can
bet
get
a chopped
you
up
know you
pickle
can
would
get less
probably be
sweet
better.
relish.
Yeah, but
make
they
spicy
always
relish.
put something in there. Like the
Oh yeah,
just
spicy
like
relish.
pickle is good, but you can't just take slices of pickle and put it on a hot dog. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's got to be
You're not
chopped
cut-
up.
You're not
But like a
cutting
little
up
diced
gherkin.
up pickle, though, I bet if I tried that over relish the next time I ate a hot dog, I'd probably never go back now that you're saying it.
Yeah. So like pickle, cheese. Like if I want to do something a little bit extra, like pickle, cheese, ketchup. But if I'm just trying to get food in me, it's just cheese and ketchup. But always preferred chili cheese.
I am a fan.
I was about to say, I don't know that I could do
dog.
cheese. Well, I don't know that I could do cheese without the chili on a
Why?
hot dog. Personally, I don't know. I like cheese. Don't get me wrong, but on a hot dog, for some reason, cheese without the chili just doesn't feel like it would do very good.
It is. I like it.
I've never tried it, so I don't have that much to say. I mean, I don't have much to go off of with it, but I feel like if I'm going to have cheese on it, I need chili on it.
Tyler,
Do you have
next
to
time
have
you have
chili
hot dogs,
on your
just
hamburger?
branch out a little bit, man.
I should. I agree.
Do you?
I'm just not a big
whenever
hot
you get a
dog person, though.
cheeseburger, you're like, I gotta put chili on it. There's cheese
No,
here.
no, it's different.
I don't think it is.
How?
It's a different taste.
I don't think it is.
It's.
I mean, I
Yeah.
do agree it's a different taste, but I think you can do it without.
I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. You could top it with another hot dog if you wanted to, but
I'll double stack it.
A
Yeah.
double dog. See, this is why we all need to be in person, because now I want to make a double dog.
Double dog actually sound like I'm kind of trying to envision this.
that's the thing. It wouldn't go well
We
when you
could
tried
make
to
this
bite
happen.
into it, I don't think, but you'd make it work. It'd be messy.
No, what you would do, I think how you would have. Now we're about to get into the logistics. If you were to do this, I think how you would have to do it is not technically have two wieners on top of each other. I think you would have to cut one in half and then have it as like an outside encompassing the middle one.
Maybe.
Oh, so you like slice it in half. So it's like a bun within the bun.
isn't
almost.
You just
You're
you
making a
slice
wiener
one.
bun inside the bread bun.
Yeah, you got to have the bun still, but then you have a cut in half hot dog, and set in between that hot dog is another wiener, and that's how you have a double dog.
It's just a double protein hot dog.
Well, I don't know how much protein is actually in a hot dog. I don't think half of it's
Well,
meat.
even if
but-
it's not a lot, if you have two of them, it's double the protein.
true.
He has a point. He's
Yeah,
still correct.
You're still doubling up. You're right.
You know what?
I
2 grams of
apologize.
protein is still double 1 gram of
Exactly.
protein.
Yeah.
It's not out here making any bodybuilders days, but still, it's double the protein.
Valid. I think we're gonna have to make a double dog. Ooh. Okay. Hold on. So, are your brats you typically get? They're typically bigger than a standard hot dog weenie,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
So, what if you did a brat hot dog, like a double dog that is a brat?
Oh, so you're saying bread, brat, hot dog.
Yes.
Bro, this man just invented
Oh.
he just invented the turducken for July 4th.
You solved everyone's
Oh,
issues that
no.
doesn't know if they want brats or dogs.
Yeah.
You just
Can we
solved
all
their
get
issue.
together for July 4th and do this?
What
Yeah.
have you done, Austin?
Down.
We would have
I
to
am
come up with a
100%
name
down.
for it.
A double dog. We've already come up with it.
Well, but even if it's a brat and a dog, is it still a double dog?
A hot
He has a good
hot
point.
dog
That
with a
feels
bratwurst, isn't it? Not a hot dog still?
I don't know, man. I
It's a
kind of
dog
Tyler on
roast.
this. I think it needs its own
It's
name.
called a brat dog.
A brat dog?
A
I feel like
brat
that's too
dog.
simple. We'll come with
Well, you still
that.
have
Will
dog
be
in there, so now you have the double dog. You got the hot dog and the brat dog.
Ben Bennick
dog.
and Melinda. I know you're both listening to this. Think of some ideas for the name of this monstrosity that we're going to create at some point.
We had the name first. We came
No,
up
but
with the
again-
double dog, and we had to
No,
explain
the double dog is 2 hot dogs. If we're
The
gonna go with a
double dog can be whatever
bratwurst,
we want it to be.
You're
we made
right.
it up.
but I think that's lazy. And I think as a group we are better than
It's kind of
this.
like calling it a red panda. It's not a panda.
It's not.
No,
I thought they were.
No, I
they're
don't.
not
I
a
thought-
part. They're closer
don't.
related to foxes than they are pandas.
I think they are. I think he is correct. They're not technically like the bear species.
Well, what is indisputable is that they are adorable.
I'll second that.
They're very true. They are great.
Yeah, so we can call this the double dog. Can we? Do we trademark this or do we put our right?
Yeah,
reserved?
trademarked. Yeah, trademarked. Copyright pending. Roundabout Gaming.
We've got 2 weeks to get that sent in.
Is that what the timeline looks like?
Well, before this hits the air, yes.
Yeah, before
Oh, I
somebody
see. I
else
see.
can
Okay.
get exposed to the idea.
Yeah. Because someone will take this from us. Before we know it, Heinz is going to have a double dog special on the shelves.
And it's gonna be a bratwurst and a hot dog.
They already coined mayo chup.
Mayo chup is just hot.
They sell it in a bottle.
I know what it is.
No joke.
I know what it is. They did not need to call it that. There was no.
They sell it in a
reason-
bottle labeled mayo chup.
No reason for it to be
Needs a
called
better name.
mayo chup.
The
Like,
chop just makes it sound so nasty.
Chup. Like what?
What is chup?
What is chup?
It's fine with ketchup, but when you put mayo chup, it's just not right.
You don't
Would
know.
you rather it be called ketchanaise?
You don't know shit about chup.
I feel like that's
Ketchanaise is good.
it sounds nicer. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well, but the problem is when the other one rolls off the tongue, it also is followed by vomit.
Whoever named it mayo chup is going to be catching A's hands. All right. Like,
Ketchanaise.
That was grade A. He doesn't need improv classes.
thank you.
He doesn't. Yeah.
They have a whole line though. Like it's mayo chup ranch, which is ketchup and ranch. And then there was one more. It's something
hate that.
barbecue. I think it's barbecue and mayonnaise, mayo Q or something like that.
Fucking crap.
But yeah, it's like a whole line. I think it's Heinz that does it.
Disgusting.
We bought the bottle of mayo chup before years ago, but then we
I could
realized
see
holy crap.
barbecue mayonnaise more than ranch and ketchup.
Yeah, I can't think of many. So I do remember when I was younger, when we would go to this little like corner restaurant. We would all, they send out the little club crackers. I don't even know what brand it is they always had, but the little club crackers, and we would put ketchup and mayonnaise on them. And thought me and my little brother, I mean, we were young, probably like 8-9 years old at this point. Thought we were geniuses because we were like, this is the greatest combination ever. If I tried to eat it now, I'd probably be like, this is disgusting.
That's what's wrong with y'all.
But either way, like at the time, even then, it was like, this is crazy. Why are we doing this? And yet they sell it in a bottle. And I cannot now, at my current age, think of any reason I would want those two things together. It sounds like the nastiest salad you've ever eaten.
I don't like it. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
No.
I hate all these words that have just been said.
Ranch, mayo chup,
Yeah,
and,
I can't.
and mayo cube.
I'm cringing at the
Let's-
term
Let's
cringe.
look up cranch. Yeah, look. I'll send a picture of the bottle.
Cranch sounds like
I can't stand it. Here, let me send a picture.
Right. Cranch sounds like some new age term for like a person who thinks they're right all the time, but they're only right 50% of the time. Like you want to give them credit, but
I
you
was gonna
can't.
say, have you had your cranch levels checked lately?
Like it's like they're just smug, but the problem is that they're actually right a lot of the time. Like they're a cranch person. That's what I think of.
I could see that.
Yeah, like it's a personality trait, or not a
Right.
personality trait, but like a.
No, I think you're right. It's a personality kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is their personality.
They're cranch.
They're a
They're very
cranch.
cranch. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems like a good word, actually, but not a food-related product. When you make it a food, it doesn't sound as fun. So there's your bottle of cranch, Brittle.
It doesn't
don't
sound
like
as
the
fun
artwork.
as our personality.
The artwork gets me.
Hold on, well, since we're here.
I'm gonna have to find a higher resolution, bigger version of that for the podcast.
I'll try to find one, but here's another bad resolution one for the time being of a different bottle. There you go, Brittle. Oh, I about sent two different things.
To any of our listeners out there, if you like cranch, get help.
Oh yeah, there's mayo chup.
I gotta figure out what the other one is.
I don't know why, but the cranch one bothers me more than mayo chup.
Who was
I can't.
Mayo
Tell
chup
you
is a
why.
great combination. It just doesn't sound good when you
hate these words.
clash the words.
It's a
Absolutely.
it's a bad name for a good combination
Yes,
of condiments.
100%.
You don't
Oh,
need
and
a
here's-
portmanteau, mayonnaise, and ketchup.
Here is the
I just call it
third
fry
and
sauce.
final Heinz monstrosity.
It's like Heinz saw that saw
There you go.
mayo Q. No. No.
Mayo cube.
What are these words?
What is that?
It's barbecue. And mayonnaise.
Barbecue? Oh,
See, like that one I can get behind. Like I could think of like some things that would be good on.
That on some like chicken nuggets, I feel like would be pretty good.
Absolutely what I was thinking.
Yeah. Honey mustard and barbecue is a great combination too.
like I just don't understand why they call it these things. Like, why mayo chup and not just fry sauce?
Right.
Like that's
it's
what it
fry
had a
sauce.
name.
Yeah, it's fry sauce. Who was the
I mean,
who was
oh,
the,
there's more of them that I am not aware of. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Heinz
save
had
this.
to have
So-
like hired a Gen Z 15-year-old who's excellent at shit posting. Hey, come up with some names for this stuff, and he just combines the worst part of two words together.
These have been a thing for quite a while. I have not seen half of these though. I don't know if we can even read those. I'm struggling to read those. Oh, mayo must. That's disgusting.
Oh, no.
Mayo
I'm out.
must.
Mayo must. Oh,
It's honey racha,
Yeah,
mayo racha. So honey, mustard, and sriracha, or just honey
Yeah.
and sriracha, I guess.
Which actually doesn't sound bad. That actually sounds like it would be
I
a
would go for
good,
that if it wasn't
like
named
wing
that.
sauce or something, you know?
Right. And then you got mayo and sriracha, mayo must, mayo and mustard, mayo chew, which we've already discussed, mayo chup, and then the cranch.
so it almost makes me wonder
Honey
with
sriracha sounds
honey
good.
racha.
Right.
If honey racha was like the first one, and they were like, "That's an awesome name," because that's a cool name, honey racha. Like that's a sauce I would buy, even though I would not buy it most likely. But like just from the name alone. But then they were like, mayo racha is not bad. What about mustard? Mayo must.
Mayo
Like,
must.
That's all.
The one problem I have with this phonetically is the first three we discussed made sense because it was the first part of one word and then the ending part of the other. Honey is just the word with racha, and then you have mayo must instead of mayo tard.
Yeah, but they couldn't call it ho racha because that would probably
call
be
it-
calling somebody else.
Horacha
That's why
sounds
you
like a
couldn't-
disease.
Yeah.
no, y'all are burying the headline here. There's a reason they can't call it mayo tart.
I mean, you could have gone mustnays. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's no actual coherent theme here.
Mustnaze sounds like a nasal congestion
It-
medicine.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, that's God. That's like the next step in the evolution of Mucinex.
Oh, I think mayo must is
Do you
the
think that-
worst one. I think out of those, mayo
Do
chup
you
is
think
kind of.
do you think somebody originally, like some intern originally brought that one to the table and they're like, oh yeah, we call it mayo tart. And somebody in a boardroom was like, no, we can't do that.
You sit down. No.
Yeah,
Just
you know what?
saying,
You're
it's
fired, Brad. Get out of here.
It doesn't follow the naming theme, and neither does honey racha. You could just call it hun racha. I think hun racha sounds really cool compared to honey racha. It's gonna
Yeah,
be my
or
next
ho
D&D
racha.
character is Han Racha.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
gotcha.
Here's. I don't know if these are real, but I found two more. So these suck. The named wise, Ket chili. That doesn't roll off the tongue like the rest of these. So I'm assuming it's ketchup and chili sauce. Sweet chili. Oh, sorry, it's sweet Ket chili. And then there's Buffa Ranch.
What the
These
Buffa
just
Ranch.
keep getting better.
Buffa Ranch?
Yeah. So there's now.
Heinz should be stopped.
Yeah, seriously.
So there's now Buffa Ranch and Ket chili. A sweet Ket chili.
I might have to change my condiment brand to like French's permanently after this because this is just abysmal.
See, I wonder if they're
French's
still
is
making
definitely my preferred mustard. And really my preferred ketchup is the Whataburger ketchup.
Does Heinz make a mayonnaise?
I would assume.
Probably,
If they're making mayo cubes, they're making it at some point.
right?
Well, you know what I mean. But like, I don't know that I've ever seen just a bottle of Heinz mayonnaise or a jar of it.
Oh, I'm sure there is. It's probably just doesn't sell as well as like Miracle
It's
Whip
Cranch.
or
Or
yeah.
Dukes or Hellman's.
Yeah, I mean Duke's
Duke's,
is.
yeah.
What's your favorite mayonnaise brand? I mean, it's got to be Duke's.
It's
right?
got to be Duke's. It's got to be Duke's.
There's like no question about it.
Nope. If you're south of the Mason-Dixon line, you use Duke's.
Really? See, I mean, I don't know that I've really come across any that I strongly dislike. I think I prefer Hellman's,
That's
but like
crazy.
I wouldn't turn Duke's down.
Hellman's might have the deal with Dale Jr., but Duke's has the Duke's Mayo Bowl, where they dump a tub of
I'm
mayonnaise
well aware it's in my backyard.
on the winning coach, and that'll forever. I mean, just on merit alone, yeah, it's beautiful.
That's disgusting.
My wife, I will never forget this. So when we went to Disney this a couple months ago now. My wife and I somehow managed to escape. Not I say escape. That makes it sound bad, but somehow we were on our own for a little while, and we went and ate at this little restaurant they had. And it was just her and I, and we got burgers and fries. Pretty straightforward. Well, we get the food, and my wife's like, I need to go see if they have mayonnaise and ketchup, because she puts ketchup and mayonnaise on everything. Fries, sauce, on burger, whatever. She comes back with the most upset looking face. I mean, looks like her world has been tarnished. And I was like, what's wrong? And she throws it on the table. She said, all they have is Hellman's. She was so upset that they didn't have Duke's mayonnaise.
The brand,
Yeah, and they
loyalty
also
is
had some really
amazing.
nasty ranch too, because her second choice was ranch for her fries, and whatever the ranch they had was not good at all.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this on the topic of ranch right now. Hellman's, geez, Hidden Valley Ranch is only good for salads.
I
100% agree.
I agree with you.
Hard disagree.
It's too crisp for dipping.
So, I mean, I don't even really know what a good like store-bought ranch is for dipping. But what I will tell you, this is kind of a
Newman's
funny
Own.
family story. So you know how there's always that one restaurant in every town, if you're a big ranch person, that you just know that restaurant has the ranch.
They have the good
Like,
ranch.
They have the good ranch.
Yes.
And ours, that actually the same little restaurant I was talking about a few minutes ago with the ranch on the crackers, the place is called Shake Shop. It's a little hole in the wall restaurant, but everybody knows when you say Shake Shop Ranch, they know what you're talking about. Their ranch is just top tier. Well, I am so lucky because my aunt is now dating the guy who owns Shake Shop. And so he comes to they have been dating for a few years now. So he comes to Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners and stuff like that at my mom's house. So for the past few years, we have had a like gallon jug of Shake Shop Ranch for our salads, for whatever else. And this past year, I told my mom, I was like, if there's any of that left over, let me know. So we brought home like probably a liter of Shake Shop Ranch that was left over. So we've just got it in the house now.
A liter of ranch is the most cursed phrase I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know.
I'm going to run to the store and buy a liter of ranch.
Liter of ranch. Not a gallon, not a half gallon, a liter
Nope.
of ranch.
A liter of ranch.
There's no reason for any one man to possess that much ranch. He's too powerful to be kept
I will
alive.
say, if you tasted this ranch, you would understand it. It's so good.
All I know is my preferred ranch, don't even know what brand it is. It's whatever is served at East Coast Wings. I don't know why it's different. It's so good though.
Oh, a
A
good
lot of
ranch is
wing
a make or
places have
break
good
for a good
ranch.
wing place.
I said Newman's Own earlier, and I meant Ken's. Ken's Steakhouse, best store bought ranch.
So we buy their Caesar dressing. It's really good.
That too, Ken. Whoever you are, Ken, you make a good condiment.
You're doing good. Just please don't make mayo chup.
Yeah, just please stop.
Let us do that on our own at the house.
Or just call it fry sauce.
Or just call it fries.
Oh, yeah.
Really, it's the branding.
But-
It's the branding that's the problem.
Heinz ketchup and Duke's mayonnaise make a great fry sauce.
Mr. Hines, stop. Get some help.
Please
And
stop.
Mr. Ken,
Please
keep it up.
stop.
Yeah.
Keep it up, Ken.
As long as you don't name it weird shit, keep it up.
Is he Hein? Like, is it Mr. Hein and the Heinz is his? And he just put a Z to make it edgy? Or is his last name Heinz?
In
1869, I think not.
That's a good point. Are y'all looking at the bottle that has the date on it?
Of course.
Nice. Because I was wondering how y'all both just dropped the year it came out on me like
I
that.
liked how in tandem we were right on with that.
Yeah, like 1869. Are you
Yes,
kidding me?
Absolutely. Michael, in post, I know that wasn't lined up perfectly, but in post, line that up.
At least for me in Discord, it was.
Yeah, it sounded spot on. Yeah. One last bottle that I'm seeing on the internet that I don't see like a physical picture of it. It looks like a digitally made one. Is Heinz hot jalapeno tomato ketchup. That sounds awful.
Wait, hot jalapeno. What?
Tomato ketchup. Heinz hot jalapeno tomato
Isn't
ketchup.
that kind of redundant?
That's
Isn't
I think
all
that's
ketchup
what's
tomato
throwing
ketchup?
me off. I was like, what? Ketchup isn't tomato.
I'm just reading the label. Heinz,
I know.
but if you look at Heinz bottle, it is Heinz tomato ketchup is what is on the bottle.
I mean, that's not too. So I like spicy ketchup, and so I put various. Like I have a bottle of sriracha that I'll do like a sriracha ketchup, or like my actual favorite one is Cholula with ketchup, and I'll do like a spicy ketchup that way. So I mean, this one's not too far off.
Sounds like I need to up my ketchup game.
But I like mixed condiments. So like this whole mayonnaise talk, I hate mayonnaise. However, I love mixing stuff into mayonnaise to make like a spicy mayo or something like that, or I'll use it as like a base for like another thing. Like, but mayonnaise by itself to me is one of the grossest things on planet Earth, and that's why I'm actually kind of behind some of these Heinz things because it cuts out the mayonnaise taste of mayo. But for me, just I can actually get behind this one because I do Cholula and ketchup, and that's not too far off.
Is a spoonful of mayonnaise on the wheel of food for Austin?
I think
I think mine was sour cream.
Yes, I think his was sour cream.
Either one was like sour cream and mayonnaise are kind of neck and neck with me. Sour cream I just felt was going to be better for that because it's sour cream. It got Shane, so it worked out.
I'm gonna disagree.
Well, you might
I
have to
feel
go
like
try to find some of these,
gotta
Austin,
do
because
mayonnaise,
they have
that's
like a whole
hilarious.
line of pepper ketchups. They have jalapeno, chipotle, sriracha, and habanero ketchups.
So
Ooh.
I think the
Oh!
question is, do we add these to the wheel of food,
Or do we just add them
make
to the double
their
dog?
own? Well, I was gonna say, do we make them their own Extra Life event, and we have a blind taste test and have to figure out which combinations these are?
My God, imagine the amount of Heinz bottles we could get that are just diabolical. Just give somebody a spoon of mayo must and just tell them that's what it is with no context.
This is mayo must. What?
Do you still have my ghost pepper jelly?
Yes, I think so.
All right, I'm going to need that shipped to Texas. Anyways, thank y'all for listening to this episode of the Roundabout Podcast. Let us know what is your favorite condiment mix. If you have any, don't take our double dog. You can't take our double dog. That's trademark by the time you hear this. So, but if you can think of some food combinations that you like or you've always wanted to try or you've heard. I know we mentioned the turducken, but what is a fun, your area food that might not be privy to the rest of the world? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to come and like, subscribe, follow on your social media of choice at Roundabout Pod or Roundabout Gaming. We also stream on Twitch and YouTube every Friday and sometimes a Tuesday stream sprinkled in there. But that Twitch is Roundabout Gaming. Roundabout Pro? Roundabout Gaming.
Roundabout Pro.
Roundabout Pro. YouTube's Roundabout Pro? Or YouTube's Roundabout Gaming?
YouTube's Roundabout Gaming.
Yeah, I was kind of there. But go follow us there. Come talk to us while we're live. That'd be great too. Still waiting on a comment on Spotify or something so I can talk with y'all. Don't reach out to me on Twitter. That ain't gonna happen.
Ben Bennick said hi to you on YouTube a couple episodes ago.
Thank you, Ben Bennick. Hi. Good talk. Anyways,
The
thank y'all for
dramatic
listening.
pause. It's crazy.
Thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.